of my favorites. Please stand and join me in the opening words. All life flows into a great common life if we will only open our eyes to our companions. Let us gather with the opening of all the windows of our beings, with the full outstretching of our spirits. Life comes with singing and laughter, with tears and confiding, with a rising wave too great to be held in the mind and heart and body. To those who have fallen in love with life, let us worship then this life, this precious time to be together, and let us learn to love. Please join me in number 325.
those that protect and serve here and overseas, for those that can't be with us here today. And a light one for Dave. He is in Florida, took a road trip. He's texted and said, if I ever consider driving to Florida again, hit me. So.
I'm lighting this candle, a dual-purpose candle, for 2 Ds, Diane and Don. Just thinking of them.
I'm going to light this candle for another patient that I lost. Amazingly enough, he was assigned to me a week after I got to meet him, and actually spent a couple hours while I was visiting another patient. Unfortunately, he got rushed to the hospital and
Did not get back, but I did meet his family. He's taking care of, this one is for his family.
May we be in prayer? Lover of light, join us in singing a new song, a song we don't yet comprehend, a song of promise, a song of now and not quite now, a song that leads us into new ways of being, that we yearn to embody but have not understood how to be before the next note. Maybe this new song is leading us in the ways of generosity and cultivating dignity in this world and kindness beyond measure. Maybe this new song is dancing us in greater love, in a boldness of heart that dares vulnerability and risks foolishness and failure in order to cherish and be cherished. Maybe this new song is building with us a more compassionate and just world, the kind where each person has real chances and choices, where communities are separated by how we sing and not by money or degrees of despair. Lover of light, join us in singing a new song, a song we don't yet comprehend, a song of promise, a song of now and not quite now. A song that leads us into new ways of being that we yearn to embody but have not understood how to before this next note. May we sing with all our being and be changed by the song, though we may falter or miss a note, though we may discover the song has been with us all along, and add new harmonies learned from strangers, become neighbors, through the song that's always just beginning now. Amen. If you are proud of this church, become its advocate. If you are concerned for its future, share its message. If its values resonate deep within you, give it a measure of your devotion. This church cannot survive without your faith, your confidence, your enthusiasm. In destiny, the larger hope rests in your hands. This morning's offering will now be received.
Song 121, Go Build a Land. Welcome to the rainbow world, rainbow people, every creature too. Rainbow people will what a motley crew. With a snow white dove to guide them and an olive leaf their sign, rainbow people in a rainbow world. Some folk want a world of this or that, mostly this if that is where they're at. All God's plenty is our store, open wide the old ark store. Welcome to the rainbow world, rainbow people bridging earth and sky, rainbow people, God's promise in their eye, and a shining arch to point them to the harmony of all things, rainbow people in a rainbow world. Some folk want their world all black and white, some folk like their world just wrong or right. We like color, we like hue, we like me, and we like you. Welcome to the rainbow world, rainbow people, children of the light. Rainbow people declaring God's delight. In the multitude colors of a multifarious world, rainbow people in a rainbow world.
Some folk want a world of wrath and flame. We prefer the gentle falling rain. Black clouds gather, still it shines. Black clouds gather. Pledge of seed and harvest times. Welcome to the rainbow world. Rainbow people, joyful, full of mirth. Rainbow people all coloring the earth. With the love and grace and laughter of a plenitudinous God, rainbow people in a rainbow world. Today's special music is Judy Garland singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Judy Garland is an icon in the GBLT world, and this song is very fitting for the rainbow colors. Scripture reading from pages 684 to 687, loving kindness. Those who do not abandon mercy will not be abandoned by me. Shintu. Love covers a multitude of sins. Christianity. Have benevolence toward all living beings, joy at the sight of the virtuous, compassion and sympathy for the afflicted, and tolerance towards the indolent and ill-behaved. Jainism. What sort of religion can it be without compassion? You need to show compassion to all living beings. Compassion is the root of all religious faiths. As a mother with her own life guards the life of her own child, let all embracing thoughts for all that lives be thine. Buddhism. A man once asked the Prophet what was the best thing in Islam, and the latter replied, "It is to feed the hungry and to give the greeting of peace, both to those you know and to those one does not know." Islam. I have three treasures. Guard and keep them. The first is deep love. The second is frugality. The third is not to dare to take the lead in the world. Because of deep love, one is courageous. Because of frugality, one is generous. Because of not daring to take the lead in the world, one becomes the leader of the world. Now, to be courageous by forsaking deep love, to be generous by forsaking frugality, and to take the lead in the world by forsaking following behind, this is fatal. For deep love helps one to win in case of attack, and to be firm in the case of defense. But heaven is to save a person. Heaven will protect him through deep love. Taoism. Okay. A little Queer 101 before we I'm sure some of you, when you saw the word queer, were like, ugh, that's bad. We don't say that. We can't do that. Well, I'm here to tell you that's different. Queer can mean many different things. It means attracted to people of many genders. Although dominant culture tends to dictate that there are only two genders, gender is actually far more complex. Queer can be a label claimed by a person who is attracted to men, women, genderqueer people, and or other gender non-conforming people. Queer can also be not fitting cultural norms around sexuality and or gender identity and expression. Similarly to the above, queer can be a label claimed by a person who feels that they personally don't fit into a dominant norm due to their own gender identity expression, their sexual practices, their relationship style, etc. Queer can also be those who are non-heterosexual. Queer is sometimes used as an umbrella term to refer to all people with non-heterosexual sexual orientations, or all people who are marginalized on the basis of sexual orientation. Queer is also, can be transgressive, revolutionary, anti-assimilating, challenging of the status quo. Many people claim the label queer as a badge of honor that has a radical political edge. UU seminarian Elizabeth Nunn has preached, queer for many folks is about resistance, resisting dominant culture's ideas of normal, rejoicing in transgression, celebrating the margins, revealing indifference, blessing ourselves. And finally, queer is an epithet or slur for someone perceived to be gay or lesbian, or not transgender as well. Queer is still sometimes used as a derogatory term. Many people who have had the word queer used against them are understandably very uncomfortable with the word. By taking the word and using it and embracing it, it can no longer hurt us. It's not something that upsets us. And besides, there are so many, there's gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and so many other sexual orientations and gender expressions, because gay and lesbians are sexually attracted to their own sex, and transgender is all about gender, nothing sexual at all. It's all about not being in the gender that you feel that you are. So with that, let me, oh no. We got the whole with it. No, this is 10 ways. Huh? Mm-mm.
It's okay, Sam, we still love you.
Thank you. I wanted this one to be really special and nice and wonderful. I can, get it about me. I am so sorry. I apologize. It was a good one, too. So we will go from there. I do have handouts on 10 ways to be more welcoming and inclusive to queer people. And I will put these up here to help you when you're talking to people at GBLTQIQ, which is queer, intersex, and questioning people. If you're interested in those. Although June is Queer Month, in July, Mansfield is going to have a gay pride festival. They've never had one before. This will be their first. There's some from here that are going to go with us. Anybody else wants to go, that's fantastic. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a sermon, just a few minutes, from Gene Robinson, the bishop of the Episcopal Church in Boston, who's gay. And it'll show a little bit of a pride festival as well.
Gene Robinson. Yeah. Do you want just a certain section of this?
Someone has been willing to pay homosexual, we need you desperately. I think God is calling to understand this as an issue of justice. Across this great nation, what's happening out here this afternoon is a total nightmare. I'm here to tell you it is no nightmare. It is God's dream coming true before your very eyes. Amen.
I got it. Spaces between, a theology of rainbows. Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong. Wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. These words, first sung by Jim Henson's Kermit in 1979, resonate in my being this morning. We gather here as a community of people who are more than categories. A people who know that we are loved wholly and deeply, exactly as we are. We have gathered here today as Unitarian Universalists, as seekers, as dreamers, as people who believe in standing on the side of love. We can be a part of finding the rainbow connection, of traveling over the rainbow to the land where dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Dreams of acceptance, dreams of diversity, dreams of freedom and family, community and connection. Every week at Berkeley Fellowship, they light a chalice while saying aloud together the words that we said today. Let love be the spirit of this congregation and service its goal. This is our loving covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth and life, and to help one another. I wonder how this unison chalice lighting can challenge us to live in our potential as gentle, loving, righteously angry people. If love is the spirit of this congregation and service is its goal, then there is a call to action humming just outside the doors. We covenant to dwell together in peace, but peace is not merely the absence of war, argument, or physical violence. Dwelling together in peace means working together for equality. It means honoring the experiences of all present in our congregation, community, and society. Seeking truth and life and helping one another is a call to discussion and respectful inquiry, solidarity with and support of each other. We light our chalice each week as Unitarian Universalists dedicated to justice. What can this mean for us? I know what this means for me. When I think about my commitment to the welcoming congregation and standing on the side of love, it makes me think of who I am. I'm a Unitarian Universalist. I am deeply invested in the spiritual work of examining my own prejudice, the ways in which I am not as welcoming, accepting, or inclusive as I can be myself. I'm a Unitarian Universalist. I believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And I believe in the power of religious communities publicly declaring their hearts and minds open to all, no matter their gender or sexual orientation. I am a Unitarian Universalist. I am determined to live my values in this world, to be present to the pain, suffering, and injustice present in our society, and to do what I can to make things better. I am a Unitarian Universalist. I honor the glorious complexity and diversity of the human experience, the beauty of lives lived with integrity and love, of identities expressed with creativity and courage. I am a Unitarian Universalist. I am covenanted to love, to service, and to peace. And I stand with those reaching for the dreams of equality and justice, waiting for us over the rainbow. Or perhaps waiting for us in the rainbow itself. A few years ago, someone asked me to write something I believed in. I thought about it for a long time. What I what I held to be true and what was important to me as a person of faith, and I realized that for me it was quite simple. I believed in rainbows. But by this I did not simply mean that I believed rainbows existed as an observable reality or that I thought they were pretty. Or I'm not endorsing the traditional biblical interpretation of the rainbow as a reminder of God's promise that he would not again destroy almost all life by flooding the earth either. I meant I believe in the spaces between. We are not just gay and straight, male and female. We are a vast spectrum of experience, preference, identity, orientation, expression, confusion, and experimentation. We are not just old and young. We are young and old together. Each of us carries wisdom and wonder. We are not a white man's country or a white man's world. We are a land and a world of many colors. We are a rainbow. All of us are rainbow, and we are singing for our lives. When I say that I believe in rainbows, I mean that I believe in wisdom and wonder, in questioning and certainty in diversity. I believe that as a Unitarian Universalist, holding our rainbow flag proudly is not just important, it's vital. It can be for us a reminder that we are in solidarity with those who find themselves not just in the spotlight, but in the spaces between gender, between recognized sexual orientations and preferences, between the cracks of what our society has deemed normal. For me, that rainbow is a symbol of all those who transgress, of all those who move between, who do not fit in tiny binary boxes, who are not simply one thing or another, who rebel against narrow-minded hate. I invite you to rebel, to stand up, to let your voices be heard. You are needed. It is not easy to be someone who challenges assumptions or blurs or boundaries. All youth experience an identity or orientation other than what is considered normal, face bullying and harassment. But all youth who identify as questioning or unsure of their gender or sexual orientation are twice as likely to face cruelty and social rejection. Somewhere between 25 to 50% of homeless youth are LGBT people. Most of these young youth have been rejected by their biological families. Those who identify as bisexual are significantly more likely to be suicidal than those who identify as straight, gay, or lesbian. Though it's hard to gather data on bisexuality, as it is so invisible in our culture, despite being the largest group of those under the LGBT flag. Those who are bisexual also earn less than those who are out straight, gay, or lesbian, and bisexual women in particular, are twice as likely to live in poverty. The stigma against bisexuality runs deep, both among those who label themselves gay or lesbian and those who label themselves straight. It is estimated that 1 in 12 trans women in this country will be murdered, and that rate goes up to 1 in 8 if you're a trans woman of color. Transgender persons are twice as likely to be unemployed, have a 9 in 10 chance of being harassed at work, are frequently harassed and disrespected in public. They are statistically likely to face eviction, assault, denial of medical care, loss of relationship with their parents or children, and incarceration based solely upon their gender identity. Reading these statistics hurts my heart. They make me afraid. Afraid for myself, for those I care about, for all those who are vulnerable and looking stigma in the face. They make me afraid for our communities and our society. All those phobias, homophobia, transphobia, biphobia, these bog us down, squeeze flavor and freedom and authenticity from all of our lives. When any of us assumes we know another person's gender or sexual orientation, we aren't just missing something about that person. We are missing something about ourselves. We are missing the chance to be curious, to be courageous, to be kind. What would happen if each of us took the chance of being curious about ourselves and other people? Really curious, respectfully curious. In a number of places around the country now, particularly among certain groups of young adults, it has become polite to ask a person what their preferred pronoun is, just as you would ask their name. It has become protocol to ask everyone what their preferred pronoun is. I recently read the account of the self-identified middle-aged cisgendered straight white man, cisgendered means straight, for those who didn't know, white man who went to a gathering where he was asked casually in the course of a conversation what his preferred pronoun was. Oh, he said, he, his. And the person who asked nodded and continued the conversation. The man went home from the party giddy, feeling more seen and respected than he had in years. He knew that he could have said anything in that moment and been accepted. And it made him look at himself in a new light. It made his gender identity feel less of a box, less of a restriction, because it had become for that moment something that was not assumed. I had a moment like that myself when in college I discovered the word queer as a reclaimed term for the first time. I remember standing in the stacks of the college library, leaning against the sharp edges of those metal bookcases, and reading about this term that defined definitions and limitations, that united and transformed and encompassed. Finding the queer movement was a lot like learning about the Standing on the Side of Love campaign. Both answer a simple question with profound clarity. What are you doing? We are standing on the side of love. What are you? I am queer. I am queer. I am myself, one part of this vast interconnected rainbow of human existence and expression. I am not a label. I am a person, fluid and glorious and individual. No longer an insult, this word sings in my bones of possibility and promise. It sings of the possibility of erased boundaries, of a world of embodied persons no longer constrained by the labels of sexuality and gender. It sings of the promise of solidarity, a promise to stand with each other in our differences, to stand united. It is no mistake that the other term many of this group of different people determined to stand in solidarity use is the word family. We are family. Who is family? Anyone who says they are, anyone who chooses to stand with us. The queer movement declares that this word, the term queer, will no longer be a weapon flung against us. Yes, we are queer, all of us. Each one of us. We are different, we are unique, we stand up to question the idea of normal. According to seminary professor Dr. Patrick S. Chung, the word queer has three meanings. First, it serves as an umbrella term, a simpler way of saying lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, polyamorous, intersex, questioning, and anyone else who identifies as non-normal, as well as those who are self-proclaimed allies. Second, it can be used as a verb to mean a transgressive action. For example, I queered the play Romeo and Juliet when I produced and directed a version in which Romeo and Juliet were girls. A couple queered Star Wars when the apparently male person dressed as Princess Leia and the apparently female person dressed as Han Solo. Third, queer erases boundaries. It shines a rainbow light over all, declaring that love is a many-gendered thing. The pride flag is not exclusive. Those of us who identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, straight, asexual, pansexual, polyamorous, cisgendered, femme butch, non-gender conforming are part of the spectrum of humanity. The rainbow is a reminder that we are part of the family, that we are all connected in our vast diversity. The flag is an invitation to rebel against labels that don't fit, against boundaries drawn too tightly, against arbitrary rules and harsh assumptions and oppressive hate. We are gay and straight together. Almost all of us are. We each of us are gay and straight together. We are man or woman, or man and woman. We are young and old. We are this land of many colors. We are, each and every one of us, complicated, full of glorious complexity, unique and multifaceted. Our challenge as Unitarian Universalists, as people of faith who believe in love, who believe in the inherent worth and dignity of each person, is before us. I invite you to join us as we try to become a welcoming congregation in the future. May we embrace all that we are, all of our between spaces. May we stand on the side of love, living into our dreams, reaching for that rainbow connection. And may we all be queer together. Amen. Please stand and join me in song 305. I know we sang this last week, but it was so fun, and it was all about colors, and it was flower communion, so I went with that. And it's also about colors and rainbows, so it goes this week too. So we're going to sing it again.
And the first verse again is in Spanish, so you can listen and enjoy it, or try and speak in Spanish and join in on the next verse, which is in English.
may it be. Feel free to move out of your seat.